Alright, what's going on, you guys? So today we are going to be getting into my tubs on the other bed that I have for my OBS. Got this one all done, tacked, well, not done, but it's tacked into place. That's where it's going to be. As you can see, it's all full focus. It's all tacked in all the way across. It's not perfect. It's my first time doing any sort of tubs, really doing any body work of any sorts. So it's not perfect, but learning as I go. Went to Dakota, got some extra sanding discs, cut off wheel, flap discs, everything I'm gonna need to start cutting apart this side. Got a battery on the charger for the cutting wheel. If you guys are thinking about getting this, kind of have mixed emotions about it. It cuts good. It's a really good tool, but if you're constantly using it, the battery wears down within like an hour, hour and a half. So unless you have a lot of batteries and a lot of chargers, don't buy it. Other than that, if you're only using it like here and there, great tool. Recommend it. But that one's in place, ready to go. Just did a couple tack welds to hold it into place. The rest of it's going to be seam sealer. So that one's done. That side's done. Put this cross bracing in there so that when I do cut this side, sorry guys, voice is a little raspy. It's getting to the colder months, so the bed doesn't lose its shape per se. But yeah, I'm pretty much just going to clean this out. That way I can get up in there, have a nice clean area to sit in, and start cutting this tub out. I do have to trim the other tub sitting up there. You guys can see it. Do have to trim that one down. Don't know if I've mentioned it, but if I have, if you guys remember, these tubs came 23.5 inches wide, and I trimmed 6 5/8 of an inch off. So didn't want them, you know, all the way out here. So, but we don't have to worry about that until this is mostly all cut out. So I'm gonna clean this up, get you guys up on a tripod, and well, start cutting and get into today's video. So let's get into it. As you guys just saw, I traced my template out. There's the line. I only went up to this body line because after this body line you got to start cutting this radius out. And if you trace the template, it's not going to be exact. So I'm going up to this body line for now. Then I'll start taking it out. You guys will see. But we got this line and we got that line, so we can start tracing it out from there. And yeah, start going from there, start cutting those. 2D, but I want to make sure it fits in there in a 3D form. So before I do that, I want to make sure that the tub is square. So I'm going to make this tub square by using some of this flat stock I got. I do believe it's 3/4. It should be 3/4 wide by I think like 18 gauge. So what I did on the other one was I measured this inside, which is sitting right at 37 3/4, which I'm gonna cut it at 37 7/8 just to give me a little wiggle room, you know. If I have to shave it down, I will, but rather overcut than undercut, you know. So I'll cut that, I'll mark that on here, and then my two tops. There, fits pretty good. There we go. So that's how that bottom piece should look, just like that. And then as far as the sides, I'm just gonna have them, get you guys a little closer. I'm just gonna have them right here, right on this little lip that we were talking about. Going all the way up, like that. Obviously, like I said, I left myself a little excess, and then what I'll end up doing to tie this all together is cut a piece of bracket that'll go right here, from here to here. And I'll have a 45, so sit here, and I'll tie this together once I get it all squared up, and that's how I'll keep it square. But for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start marking my holes and start drilling all my flat stock. That way I can get it welded to the actual tub itself and give the tub some structural stability. Alright, so I got all my holes drilled out. This is the bottom piece. Got them all drilled out. And now I'm getting ready to weld them up. So now, as you can see, full focus, I got good penetration on all 7 of my little rosettes. I cut these 45-degree pieces of metal, 45 on each side. I still need to clean them up, as you guys could see, but they'll basically sit right in there once I get it square. Obviously it's not sitting right now, but once it is, it'll be sitting real nicely. Let's see if I can move my hand out of the way, that way you guys can see in there. but should sit in there pretty much like that. And I could tie them in, make sure it's square. And I'll make sure it's square by using this, basically having it sit up in there somewhat like so. Alright, so I got the little 45-degree brackets welded up. So now the tub is square on each side. So that's good. And I didn't film it, but I got the top part of the bed cut out. I still gotta cut the floor and all that, but I'm ready to start test fitting it. So right now I'm gonna try to toss the tub up in there and test fit it. Alright, so now I got the tub exactly where I want it. Once I cut it down and it drops down, it's going to drop right before the hump of this line right here. Right there. Which is exactly where the other one's sitting. So now that I got it where I want it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this template right here and place that right there. And that's going to basically cut out this section of the tub so that it drops around the humps, rails, whatever you want to call them, of the bed. So what I did on the other side was, let me find another Sharpie. I think it's over here actually. I just held it on there exactly where I wanted it, and then I outlined it. That way I got a square put in there. I could just line the template up with it. Just like that. Probably need to fix this line a little bit. So now I can go line it up in that corner, and I'll have a mark on where it needs to be. Once the tub's out, line it up, cut it out. That's all I'll have to do. Just as easy as that. Alright, you can see my line right here. Kind of explained it bad, but you don't really need this line. You only really need this one, because what you're going to do is take the bottom of your template, put your template right up against that line, and line up your template with the bottom. I'm sure there's better, maybe easier ways to do this, but this is just how I'm doing it. And then you're just gonna trace it. And just like that, you got your 3 marks that you have to cut. Make sure that you guys can see that, get a better look. And obviously my template isn't the best. It was just a rough template that I used for the other side. I did have to go back through and kind of clean them up and test it a couple times to make sure that it all sat in there nicely. But I'll get you where you want to be roughly, and you'll have to fine it up a little bit, but that's going to be where you want to be roughly. guys, so I did end up getting the tub welded in. It's all tacked into place. Pretty much now it's good for seam sealer, but I did end up having to take it to my shop or unit, whatever you want to call it. But it is going to snow tonight, starting at 3 a.m. It is currently, I think, like 11ish. Yeah, 11:10. But starting at 3 a.m. All day tomorrow, which is Friday, we're supposed to get a total of about, I think, 10 to 12 inches. So, got the bed put back over there. Parked the Blazer in the garage. My exhaust broke, so I gotta fix that. Our extension cord for the welder isn't very long, and we're not allowed to park on the street. So, tubs are all on. So, hopefully this video helped you guys a decent amount. Like I said, I am not a pro. That was my first time ever doing tubs. I know if there could be some of you guys watching that are like, oh, you're doing this wrong, oh, you're doing that wrong. And yeah, I probably was. But you know what? It was my first time ever doing tubs. It was my first time really doing any sort of serious metal fabrication. And for my first time, I think they turned out pretty decent. And so with that being said, you know, I'm not going to complain about it. You know, it's not going to be 100% perfect. Hopefully this helped in some sort of way if you guys are interested in doing tubs. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I'll see you guys next week.